Hi everybody. You see what this shirt says? I will not lose. See? I'm gonna start getting in shape too. Hell hath no fury like a woman who's been scorned. Look up the word scorned in an etymology dictionary and you'll find that it means someone who's been robbed of honor, who's been disgraced. Now, did you know that there is no limit when it comes to the statute of limitations? That when it comes to fraud, there's no statute of limitations. So we live in a government and in a world that has been farming people, okay? Meaning using you like cattle, like meat, for whatever resource they need you for, to work, to use your organs or your blood. That's why we have all these blood donor organizations and organ donor. The DMV tries to get you to be an organ donor. Well, so this is the thing. I'm figuring out a lot of the deception that's in this world. And first of all, that they want to, the schools and the government want to keep us, the children, dumbed down. So they don't teach you real history in school. They don't teach you what happened in the 1800s. They don't teach you about what happened on Jekyll Island. Read the book Creatures of Jekyll Island. They don't teach you that the Federal Reserves is a false, fraudulent banking system run by the Rothschilds and Rockefellers, the 1% that's trying to run this world. They don't teach you that we're under their maritime laws and lost at sea, and that the Vatican is holding your soul. So these things I have figured out have, from my research, have led me to the truth that I'm just letting the government and the world know that my honor will be given back to me, and that I'm no dummy, and my gold, my ship, being in the proper banking system and ship and merit, I'm no longer lost at sea. Everything that the devil stole from me will be returned to me. So all of the people out there in the world and in the internet, you name it, who have been deceiving Sandra, who are of the devil, there's no statute of limitations as far as fraud goes, for the fraud that you have committed toward me. Because when you most people do not read fine print when they sign something. Okay, we take it for granted that we're dealing with honest, good people. That we don't question these things. So when my home went into foreclosure with Johnny, my first husband of 14 years that I was married to and had 4 sons by, that was fraud, what the government did to us. It was part of those little scheme to destroy our family. And I could go on and on and on, but what I'm trying to say is that I will not have my identity stolen from me, my vital birth, my live birth, my true birth in the Most High, the highest of the high, the uncreated Creator who created me for greatness. who said I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And I just want to say, put a shout out to him and or her, Hawa Kadesh. Kodesh means set apart and perfect and without sin, and Hawa, from what I found, means love, and it means I am that I am the great I am. And see, I am now the great I am, because the great I am lives in me, and I was made for greatness. You know, some of us, he said, would even excel him in greatness, or, you know, her, the creator. So, have I accomplished that? Maybe in some ways I have. He made me, or she, she, you know, whether or not the creator is a male or man or what. See, male and female is animalistic terms, people. We're not animals. So, we're supposed to say man or woman. And so I'm just recording this and putting this out there that I will be retrieving what rightfully belongs to me, my heirship, my ownership of my proper, good, righteous, Tsakanu, most high, highest of the high ownership, where, you know, I'm no longer part of this evil satanic agenda and banking system and falsehood. I am suing the government. Just like, see, Kentucky, there's the state of Kentucky and the Kentucky state. So I'm going to address Kentucky state to undo what the state of Kentucky, which is federal, did to me. Okay? And there's nothing they can do to cover it up. All things will be revealed. It is fraud what they did to me, charging me for killing a man when that was basically self-defense. He was abusive to me and my children. I had an EPO on him. He was in my home that I was renting that was in my name. I had the right to kill him according to the old Aramaic Hebrew original laws. And those are the laws that I go by. And then you have the situation of them taking my children, saying they're trying to protect them from a domestic violence home. Well, they should have took me and my children out of the situation, and it was only supposed to be for 2 weeks, and it turned into 10 years now that I've been without my daughter. And I was forced to sign papers under fraudulent thing, being told in prison that the state wasn't going to pay for my children to be in foster care anymore, when in fact this woman who's had custody of them has still been getting paid. And I should have never lost my children in the first place. So I am suing the government. I am suing the state of Kentucky for all the years, the 3.5 years that I spent in prison, and for them taking my children, for all the fraud that I have been under all my life, because they don't teach you the real history of USA, the capital letters, this corporation, in school. They hope you be dumb enough not to find out. See, there's a Roman law that if a person's going to be dumb, let him be dumb. Well, I was ignorant of these things because I had children at a young age, been tied down to children all my life. I didn't have time to read and study and know the things that I know. Since I've lost my children and have been studying and had time to read and study, I've come to know these things. I would have known these things years ago because I was always smart and always was an avid reader. I would have known these things 20 or 30 years ago had I not had a child at 16 years of age and then get married so young. See, that was all part of the schemes of the devil to try and destroy me. And then I come to find out there was a doctor in 1932 who approved the Rogam shot so that women like me, who were Rh negative, could actually give birth to and have children that were positive blood types. The reason why I've been hurt all my life is because I've never had an Rh negative blood type husband or partner, and I've always had positive blood types, and that's why I've been hurt all my life, because I was never meant to be with these men. So the government and the fraud here, pretty much basically because of this Rogam shot thing that they started back in 1932, caused me to give birth to children that my body would have killed. And now I'm therefore having problems with these children, not only because of their blood type, which they have mine as a recessive gene, but because the government took them away and they were half-ass raised by somebody. Instead of being raised by me, their strict mother, who would have beat their ass if they ever fell out of line. My son wouldn't have been 50 miles away from home camping with some kids who were known to sing screamo music, which I consider demonic. Okay? You can ask all of my children. I always knew where they were. If they wanted to spend the night somewhere, I took them. I verified with the parent that that's where they were going to be. I made sure it was okay. I made sure I knew their parents and that I trusted to even leave my children there. So, you know what? I'm very pissed off at what happened with my son. And so all of this will be avenged, because the righteous will be avenged. The Tisakanu people will be avenged for everything that Satan and all who serve him have, done to me with your little tribe of Don. So, which is nothing and is coming to nothing. I had somebody ask me, how'd you end up in Kentucky? What are you doing in Kentucky? Oh, are you mad that I've enlightened some people here in Kentucky? Because the people here are so dumbed down. I noticed when I came here in 2004, when my dad was dying in the hospital, that's what brought me here, that the school system was a lot slower than it was up in Illinois. Yeah, you try to keep these people real dumb here in Kentucky, don't you, the devil? And this is where the devil himself is from. So we're in God's country, the Bible-thumping state of America. Really? No, this is Satan has had control of this with all of his enemies and all of his falls. So that's why there's churches and crosses everywhere. It's all satanic worship, okay? It's all sun goddess and sun god worship. The worship of Krishna. Christ goes back to the name Krishna and Crisco oil. So I'm not a pagan worshiper anymore. I might as well worship myself before I'd end up worshiping anybody named Jesus Christ or Allah or Buddha or Gandhi. Those are all pagan gods, and from what I found, the Aramaic Hebrew name was Hawel Kadesh. Now, if I'm wrong, Most High, highest of the high, the great I am, the uncreated creator, please forgive me. I will get to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me. But I do know that I was made for greatness, and that all these things have been revealed to me because I have searched way deep down the rabbit hole, and I went through hell and back, and I have rised, and I have come out of the deception. So, hopefully, the rest of you who are my subscribers and listeners and viewers, who are family, friends, and loved ones, you will too. And you know what? Like the old saying goes, with family like what I got, who needs enemies? Now listen, I have aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, all of those who all might be mad at me for my book and the things that I expose in my book. Well, you know what? I'm not going to apologize, because the truth hurts. The truth is what sets you free or makes you free. And if anything I have said of the truths that I have shared, because I have told the whole truth, bothers you or offends you, that's because that is the conviction of the Ruach HaKodesh bothering you and the devil bothering you about it. Because if you were living in truth and honesty and speaking the truth and confessing the truth and repenting and getting rid of all the sin in your life, you would have nothing to be guilty of. You would have nothing to be offended of or offended by. You wouldn't hate me. You would be happy and glad that I'm revealing the truth, to set an example for the rest of the world of what everybody else has to do. Because I tell you what, the devil's going to hold you captive all of your life and be able to use you and take your soul if you do not follow my example of telling the truth, admitting your faults and your sins, confessing them, and doing what you can to make things right with those you've wronged, and most of all with the one you wronged, who is your uncreated creator, the creator of all things. And he even made that devil, and he made that devil to destroy all those who are evil. So if you want to be evil and you want to be deceived, then you fall into the category of satanic breed children, as far as the great I am, most high, the highest of the high, the uncreator creator is concerned. And that means that, well, you deserve to go to hell with him. You deserve to be judged and condemned with the devil. If you want to be evil and you want to be a liar and you want to be a deceiver and you want to take advantage of people. Now, all those who have took advantage of me are going to pay. They're going to, I've come out of the darkness and into the light, and am no longer deceived and know the truth, which makes me free. And I will no longer be under this beast system, and I refuse to have the mark of the beast on me or be under this beast system. And I will obtain and attain, and my labor will not be in vain and for nothing. And everything will be restored to me that Satan and all those who serve him have stolen from me. And believe me, I will leave my mark on society. Everything I have accomplished will be for the kingdom of heaven. I will usher it in. I will destroy the evil that is here. The Malahim of the Shamayim Tesakanu righteous kingdom is the one that's going to prevail. So, I am angry, and rightfully so, because I have been done dirty. I have been with men that I was never supposed to be with, because many years ago they didn't even allow people to get married that weren't of the same blood type, and they didn't allow children to be born, unless they were of your blood type. This was all part of the devil's scheme of destruction to mess with the DNA of mankind and try and destroy the Most High seed, who would crush his head, which I have been doing for 8 years now, since I started this supernatural war and fight with that devil, since I met Don Hester 9 years ago and got incarcerated 8 years ago, and have been fighting the devil out of my pineal gland, out of my temple, and out of my body, soul, and spirit. So, hell have no fury like a woman who's been scorned. The Most High's wrath is going to rise up in judgment and condemnation of my enemies and those who have tried to destroy me. You can take that to the bank, and it's going to be my bank that prevails, because the Federal Reserves and the false banking system that the devil started back in the 1900s, that's going to be destroyed. And you will give me back all my gold that you've been stealing from me, this damn government, this fraudulent system. You think that you're going to have my name down on the stock market and all over these dollar bills and all over this Social Security card, and you've been using me all these years to try and make money off of me and make movies about me? Read between the lines. You know what they say, how they say it in Italian, right? Baffangu? That's right. You know, and don't, when I cuss at you all, it's not meant in any sexual way, because I don't want to have intercourse with any of you satanic breeds, okay? I mean, as, you know, go to hell, okay? You know, I mean it like shoving you away, shoving you aside, get away from me, get out of my environment, out of my vibe. You ain't part of my tribe. Go to hell. Okay? So, I hope that other people who are not part of the devil will understand, and overstand, and understand where I'm coming from.